Good morning. It's February 7th today. I'm gonna do a different kind of video. I'm planning on going to the gym today, and I thought maybe I'd bring the video along with me. I have to, I guess, make a disclaimer that I am by no means a fitness professional or know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to stay healthy and fit and active. So I go to Gold's Gym, so it's by no means my favorite gym that I've ever been to, but it does the job. It's got the equipment that I need. I'm planning on going there and doing some yoga today, as well as some leg exercises, maybe a bit of cardio. So if this is something that I like and people like, then I'll keep doing it. It's kind of nice to record your fitness journey or whatever, so might turn into that. But yeah, I'll bring you along with me, and I'll see you at the gym. So here I am now doing some yoga. You can't see it, but I am not just doing this off the cuff. I've got my headphones in and my phone is propped up against the wall, and I'm following a guided meditation / yoga app called Down Dog. This app has been really helpful and useful for me to practice yoga. It offers a lot of different types of yoga, as well as it accommodates different skill levels. This is me attempting some more difficult skills. Side planks and any type of planks are pretty hard for me, considering I have pretty poor core strength. That's one of the things that you can set as well. You can set boosters on the Down Dog app, so you can, work towards greater core strength in a session or greater flexibility. So you can kind of get different boosts for each session as you please. Here's the classic downward dog movement. Here I'm working towards getting my heels to the floor, pulling my shoulders back, things like that. The other really great thing that I've appreciated that Down Dog offers is they have a month free trial. And they offer an extension on that free trial if you have any financial hardship. So for those that really enjoy using the app and practicing yoga, but may have any financial hardship, they're pretty understanding in offering an extension on the grace period for the app. There I was practicing a plank, then you go into a cobra position. That's part of, the core boost is they have you do what they call chaturanga push-ups, which I think I do later in this session. It's also worth noting that I've put this at 4 times speed, otherwise I'd be sitting here for half an hour with you. So you can set the length of time as long as you want, pretty much, for the sessions. I usually do anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes if I want to squeeze in a yoga session while I'm at home before work, I may do a 15-minute session. But anything less than 30 minutes, I feel like I don't really get into a good groove.
So there I was doing a poorly executed chaturanga push-up. I find these pretty difficult. That's a plank, and there I try to go down. You're supposed to kind of go halfway and make your elbows 90 degrees while you go down into them. But again, I don't have great upper body strength, so I'm working on that. Here I'm doing bent elbows, plank. That is also part of the core boost for this session. I do actually really feel like this app has helped me with my flexibility and core strength. I used to be a dancer and a figure skater before I graduated college and started in the working world. So I've been trying to work on my flexibility and getting some of that back again. So that was I believe that was Warrior 1 coming down into Warrior 2. This is a peaceful warrior. I apologize, you may be able to hear the garbage pickup here. I'm voice recording from the greenhouse this morning. I thought it would be the most quiet place, but perhaps not. This is a side angle. You start to really feel a burn in your legs at this point, as I kind of fall down into the low lunge. Thankful that I'm no longer in that side angle. It's actually really beneficial for me to go through and watch from the side to see my form. It's something I've been trying to work on lately. I could tuck my butt a little bit lower here. But at the end of those, my arms and core are shaking. You may be able to catch it in the video. It's pretty challenging. Here my hair gets stuck in the mask and the glasses and the earbuds. Here my chair pose could definitely be improved quite a bit there. So now we switch sides, and my leg is going to start to burn quite quickly here. Ideally, your knee is in line over your ankle for all of these lunge poses. As you go longer and longer in holding that pose, it becomes more and more difficult to do so. You can see sometimes I kind of wiggle back and forth because holding perfectly still can be kind of a challenge for me. They also allow you to walk slowly back up to your hands. You notice that I do a lot of the hopping. In beginner 1, they have you walk. This move here is Padagustasana. I apologize for my pronunciation, but this one's a little bit of a challenge. You hold your toes and you try to pull yourself down to your feet. You can see my knees sort of buckle a bit here. I don't quite have the flexibility in my hamstrings to do this properly. It's kind of difficult to do leg strength workouts and then stretch after, but it's really important to do so to keep your flexibility. This here is Warrior 3. It's something that I've been working on. I kind of cheat by moving my hands out. This was something that in skating used to be called a spiral, when you hold your leg back out like that. It's hard to do it when you're not moving at all. I definitely wiggle around quite a bit when I do this, you'll see. and I sort of cheat a bit by not holding my hands in prayer the whole time. I put them out to my sides to gain a little bit of better balance. But yeah, I wiggle a lot, trying to work on that here. As the session continues on, you'll notice my downward dogs get a little bit easier and my heels can touch the ground, or close to touching the ground, which shows a bit of improvement there in the flexibility throughout the session. These here are called Crescent Lunges, where you have your knee down in the back. They do a lot of twists. You'll notice there'll be twists while you're doing the chair pose, crescent lunges, when you do the side angle. They do a lot of spine mobility on this app, which I really appreciate. Okay, so I definitely hyperextend or extend a little bit too much there, and I lose my sock at some point. Gotta work on not going too high when I lift my leg there. The app also paces the session really well. They focus on a nice warm-up and warm and cool down, and they usually end with you doing some kind of sitting stretches to cool you down at the end of the session before Savasana. Here I am sort of wiggling my head about. They encourage to kind of make sure you loose all throughout the session. This is a really good core exercise. It's called boat pose. In this, they don't have you go down into half boat, which I appreciate because that is pretty challenging. Half boat is when you sort of extend out and try to almost hold yourself hovering above the floor. That one I don't quite have down yet, so this one just has you do boat pose. I try to let go of my legs for as long as I can. Again, I don't have a great core, so I'm working on that. They usually have you do it a couple of times, and it's usually at the end of the session when you're already a bit tired. I'm about to go into some hip mobility work here. I often have to support my back for this. It takes me a bit of time to get comfortable with the bridge poses. They're usually kind of awkward feeling. And they encourage making sure that you support your back when you need to. I have a bit of pain in that left hip from previous figure skating injuries, so I have to sort of work through it there. Anything you can do to strengthen your hip flexors and improve mobility in your hips and any joints is really beneficial, and yoga is a great way to do that. And here we have Savasana, which is one of my... Oh, actually, just kidding. We're not going into Savasana. We're doing some more bridges. Sometimes they trick you into thinking you're about to be done, but they give you just a bit more. This is the reclined butterfly. They have you open up your hips, which sometimes is slightly awkward in public. This is the seated butterfly. Sometimes they have you hold poses for kind of a long time, which which makes you really feel the burn. I'm sure I was feeling it here. There goes a plane above. Again, apologies if you can hear that. And, oh, the dreaded happy baby. I don't actually dislike this pose at all. It actually is great for opening your hips, but my goodness, it's quite the move to do in public. Now we're going to be coming into Savasana. They usually have you hold your knees and hug them in and give a nice stretch to your back before they have you release and begin Savasana. Here I am making sure I don't smack my phone because I've swooshed right to the edge of the mat. They recommend that you open your arms, but I usually lay one hand on my stomach and one hand on my heart, so that way the rhythm of my breathing and heartbeat kind of help me relax and focus on those things as I try to do a little bit of meditation. I try my best not to let my mind wander during this time, although I usually do. If I catch myself doing that, I just try to bring myself back and say, I wonder why I let myself wander there, and I try to address those things that make my mind run. I tend to be an overthinker, so that's something that I am working on in my meditation. If you find that you need more or less time in Savasana, that's another thing that you can set actually in the app. So as Savasana comes to an end, they have you wiggle your fingers and stretch out. I usually like to do this. It's called a morning stretch there. And I am done. Thank you for joining me at the gym today and joining my yoga session. I encourage you to get down dog if you're interested in yoga. Right now, you can't really, I don't feel safe going to a yoga class where there's a ton of people, which is why I appreciate that this large room is usually available and not that many people use it. It's a great app. There's a free trial. They also have some HIIT sessions and ballet bar if that's something you're interested too. Make sure you wipe your area and wash your hands after going to the gym. Thank you for joining me today.